Well, hello and welcome here to St Patrick's Field for the City Senior Hurling Championship Final between Old Christians and Na Piarsiagh. Two teams who did very, very well in their championships this year. Old Christians, of course, reaching the semi-final. They were beaten in the Intermediate Championship by Maru Boher, who eventually went on to win the title. Whereas Na Piarsiagh, they went out of the Senior Hurling Championship at the semi-final stage as well, after losing in a draw to, of course, after losing a replay, to, of course, eventual champions Aham. So the scene is set here at St Patrick's Field. Conditions excellent for the City final. The referee for this afternoon's game is Mike Mann of Ballybrown. Well, we'll give you the Na Piarsiagh line out. In goals you have John Fitzgerald. The full back line is Liam Kiley, Tomalay, who's captain of the side, and Pat Power. The half back line is Diarmuid Madigan, Garrett McKeown and Donald Hickey. And at midfield you have Kieran Birmingham and Fergal McNamara. The half line is David Hennessy, Shane O'Neill and Cathal Meehan. While up front you have Enda Kiley, John Cormack and Brian Hartnett, and we could see some positional changes on that Na Piarsiagh team before they take to the field here this afternoon. And we'll give you the Old Christians line out. In goals you have Joe Hegarty, who is captain of the side. The full back line is Aidan Maher. Full back is Declan Maher, and the corner back is Tom Fair. The half back line is Jonathan Hanrahan, Brian Driver and Phil Madden. At midfield you have Colm Gorey and Morris Bodie. Half line is Pat Howard. The experienced Ger Hegarty is at centre forward with Kieran Keogh on the wing. At the full forward line is John Power, Dara Jones and Sil Maher. And of course as well you could see positional changes, throwing, and the game is on here at St Patrick's Field. Brian Driver first to break away for All Christians. The ball broke over here to this side of the field to the half forward Pat Howard, fouled as he was going to the ball, and he takes the free himself. But that ball has gone to the right hand side of the upright and gone wide. The puck out from John Fitzgerald, dropping, pulled on by Gorey. One pulled on first time. That ball going down into the corner. One there by John Power. Across the 21 into the full forward. And that's going to be a free in. Foul there on the full forward, and Pat Howard opens the scoring here at St Patrick's Field in the City Senior Hurling Championship Final. Pat Howard, of course, who played under 21 and senior hurling with Limerick. John Fitzgerald pucking out this one, sending it over there to the far side of the field, where it's won by the half forward. The half forward is David Hennessy. Hennessy sending it into the centre. That ball pulled on first time. That ball being pulled on again inside, and it's been cleared out all the ways down the field by Diarmuid Madigan. Pulled on again by Na Piarsiagh. Bit of stalemate over here. Both very well in the championship. That's John Cormack coming out onto the 40 to collect that one. But it's Old Christians who break away with it. This is Morris Bodie who coming away with it. Sending a ball in into the full forward line. Power. But the ball is flicked away from him and cleared down the field by Shane O'Neill. That's actually Garrett McKeown sending it over to the far side, where Maher pulls along the ground. It comes to David Hennessy on the break. Hennessy, still Hennessy moving through. And that's the opening score. Point there for Na Piarsiagh. Ball taken there, dropping into the full forward line. One back there by Power. And that ball has gone across the face of the goals and gone out. I think it's gone out for a 65. Ger Hegarty to take this 65. And he puts it to the left hand side of the upright and puts it wide. John Fitzgerald pucking this one out, dropping it out to Shane O'Neill, now operating at centre back, clearing that ball away out the field. It's one back there. That's Tom Fair clearing it down the field for All Christians into the centre back position. Shane O'Neill getting that one away up. That ball, Christians trying to walk this one out. It's breaking across there to Maher, over there at the far side of the field, and the quick flick and gets it away out the field. That ball cleared down by Colm Gorey, where it's caught by Power. Good possession, good showing, good strength as the ball breaks inside. Oh, and it's in the back of the net. A cracking goal. We see it here again. One inside by the corner forward and crash into the back of the net. So the scoreboard reads 1-1 for All Christians, 1 point for Na Piarsiagh. Pulled on the ground. This is a good spell here. This is Donald Hickey coming back to collect it. Definitely, and Pat Howard trying to get it, but Pat was held as he was trying to get that ball into his hand. Free from Howard, dropping in. Fitzgerald gets it inside. Clears it, sending it over to the far side of the field, where it's dropping over there, pulled on first time, and one back there by Moynihan for Na Piarsiagh. And that ball is cleared down the field for Old Christians. Dropping it down, Hegarty going for it, failing to collect it also is Pat Howard. This is Shane O'Neill pulling, half blocked down, being followed over there, pushed from behind by Pat Howard. And that's going to be a free in. Shane O'Neill dropping it, but it's gone to the right hand side and gone wide. Joe Hegarty getting ready to puck this one out, captain of the side. 1-1 for Old Christians, 1 point for Na Piarsiagh. It's dropping down, Gorey going up for it, failing to collect to it, but a tap there on Joe Hegarty as he was coming to that ball, and that's a free to be taken by Pat Howard. And that's a very good score from Pat Howard. Excellent free taker for Old Christians, dropping this one out. Gorey going for it. That's Scarlett McKeown pulling on it, winning this one, sending a ball in along the ground, where the ball breaking over there to the far side of the field. This is the cornerback. The cornerback is Pat Power. Now he's operating a corner forward. That ball breaking down. It's won there by Na Piarsiagh. The ball flicked inside. It's won by John Cormack, throwing up the ball, failing to collect it. Na Piarsiagh pressing, but All Christians are standing up well. Tom Fair clearing it down the field. The ball is dropping, and Pat Howard using strength and skill and power and collecting it and sending it into the full forward line. This is good hurling. That's a good ball, and that's a fantastic score. Good hurling by Old Christians. 1-3 for Old Christians, 1 point for Na Piarsiagh. This ball dropping down, caught there, good fielding by Na Piarsiagh. This is Hennessy, flicking it over to Cormack, going through with it. Is he going to go for goal? He's through, takes his shot, but took too many steps with the ball, and indicated there by Mike Mann, and that's going to be a free out. And a little bit of back chat there from John Cormack and Mike Mann, putting the name of the full forward in the book. Joe Hegarty dropping this, Colin Gorey going up for it, being pulled, seems to be fouled, but the referee says play on. This is Kieran Birmingham coming, trying to work his way out with it. Still Birmingham going to collect it, being followed by Brian Driver. Put it on the ground. This is David Hennessy, and that's a very good score from Hennessy. 2 points for Na Piarsiagh, 1-3 for All Christians. Joe Hegarty pucking this one out. They seem to be playing it over to this side of the field towards Pat Howard's wing. Joe Hegarty and Pat Howard on the half forward line. You'd expect Pat Howard to be playing inside in the full forward, but Christians are playing him out there. This is John Power in a tussle with Pat Conlon. Tom Mullane there, and the referee is giving interesting decision. Decides to throw in the ball, a bit of pulling across the 21. Pat Howard gaining possession, turning onto his left hand side and putting it over the bar. That's a good score from Pat Howard, striking that ball well and putting it over the bar. Excellent score. John Fitzgerald with the puck out. The ball dropping back here, won by Na Piarsiagh. They're playing a very low ball into the full forward line, but this ball breaking across. This is the halfback, Jonathan Hanrahan, coming away with it. And it's dropping over here to this side, where it's won by Howard, giving Donald Hickey a run around in this first half into Hegarty. And that's a great score from the centre forward, putting that one over the bar. The puck out from John Fitzgerald. You see here again the walk up to this score, cleared out by the back line, out to Hanrahan. Hanrahan dropping it in, ball flicked across. Pat Howard, Joe Hegarty, and over the bar. Excellent score, great combination play by All Christians, moving the ball well. Two very reliable players on that half forward line, Joe Hegarty and Pat Howard, combining well to get that score. That ball breaking over there. David Hennessy gets it for Na Piarsiagh, sending it into the full forward line, where it's breaking back, and Maher going back to collect it at cornerback, And a good side step by the cornerback. That's good hurling. Sending it way out the field where it's dropping down. Ger Hegarty waiting to collect it. Hegarty gains possession using strength. Finding the player Phil Madden and clearing it away down the field. Dropping it into the full forward line. Danger here. That's great hurling. Pulled on first time. The goalkeeper saves it. Power kicks it. Oh, it's gone in. It's gone into the back of the net. We see it here again. Pulled on and saved by Fitzgerald. And it's kicked into the back of the net by the incoming John Power. Well, did he get a foot to it? 2-5 for all Christians. 2 points for Na Piarsaigh. The puck out from John Fitzgerald. Dropping this one down. Definitely, who would have thought that Christians would be playing like this? They're playing very, very good hurling. They're really up for this game. This is Pat Conlon busting his way out. Would have been followed by John Power. But you don't go past Pat Howard as the ball is sent over to the far side of the field where it's caught. John Cormack, that's good hurling from the Piarsaigh. David Hennessy decides to pull on the ground. It comes into Hartnett. Hartnett side steps inside, trying to burst his way through, being controlled by Tom Fair. That ball coming out along the ground where it's caught by Shane O'Neill. O'Neill looks up, takes his shot, and it's dropping, caught inside by Hegarty. Fouled as he was coming out with that ball, and that's going to be a free out to all Christians. Joe Hegarty dropping this one out. Gordy goes up to collect it, but it drops it on that occasion. The ball flicked over to the far side of the field. And it's won back there by the half-back. Ball breaking across here, going very near the line. Kept in play. Won back John Cormack. Pulled there by Shane O'Neill. There's a good tussle between O'Neill and Hegarty. But that's going to be a free out to Na Piarsaigh. A foul by Ger Hegarty. We join the action with Joe Hegarty pucking this one out. 2-5 to 2 points. The scoreboard reads. That's good hurling. Well done by Colm Gorey. Sending that ball into the full forward line. Danger here again. 8-hand. That ball goes in there. There's danger for Na Piarsaigh. The ball being broken over to the far side. Can they get a score out of this one? And that ball, but that's going to be a free in. Or it's actually going to be a free out. Interesting decision by the referee. John Fitzgerald taking this free from Na Piarsaigh. Dropping it down. The ball is half blocked down. Brian Driver going for it. And that's going to be a free in for Na Piarsaigh. In the Kiley. Opening, putting it on over the bar. That's a good score from Kiley. 3 points now for Na Piarsaigh. 2-5 for Old Christians. Both sides have never won this City Senior Hurling Championship. The ball dropping down. It's Gorey goes up for a fails to collect it, wins it, pulls on the ground. The ball breaking back. Thrown by Hanrahan, getting into his hand. Good hurling. Sending it inside. Power going up for it. There's a good tussle. Malay racing back to collect it. And John Power breaking inside. The ball is tapped, but it's only as far as Shane O'Neill. And the referee gives a free out to Na Piarsaigh. John Fitzgerald dropping it over there to the far side where it's breaking. David Hennessy racing across to collect it. John Cormack gets it into his hand, switching it, dropping it into the full forward line. It's breaking in behind. Danger here for Old Christians, but definitely good Colm Gorey breaking up a lot of play there around the middle of the field. This is won back by Gareth McKeown and dropped in. Joe Hegarty reads it beautifully in the goal mouth and clears it over to the far side of the field where the ball is half blocked down. One back again into Morris Bodie, and he clears it down the field. That's a good ball, and that's a good score. Excellent score from Jared Jones, putting that one over the bar. Good hurling from that full forward line. And that's going to be a free there to Na Piarsaigh over there at the far side of the field. And that's a good score. Putting over the bar there from Inda Kiley. 2-6 to 4 points. The Piarsaigh trying to edge their way back into this game. They were favourites going into this game to lift this city title after defeating Perfect Well. And the Christians defeating Clahon in the semi-final. That ball is half blocked down. It comes out. Tom Fair going for it, failing to collect it. Ball breaking inside, dropping in across the front of the goals, picked up by John Cormack. And is that going? Yes, it's gone over the bar from the full forward. Seems to be operating out around the half forward line, winning that ball and putting it over the bar. Joe Hegarty with the puck out, 2-6 to 5 points. The ball breaking, batted down by Shane O'Neill. Kyle Moynihan with the free in to Na Piarsiagh. In the Kiley to take it. That ball dropping inside, but it's dropping out over the in-line and wide. Definitely St. Patrick's Day Club must be complimented on this field. Condition excellent. That's a good catch there by Gorey. Sending that ball in. Malay coming forward. Trying to burst his way out. But that's going to be a free to Na Piarsiagh. John Fitzgerald coming out from goal to take it. Dropping it into the full forward line. The ball breaking inside. John Power wearing the number 4 but operating in the full forward line. And Don Hickey seems to be operating the full forward line as well. It's a crowded Na Piarsiagh full forward line as in the Kiley puts that one over the bar and now makes the score. Na Piarsiagh 6 points. All Christians 2 goals and 6 points. The ball breaking across there. Won by Joe Hegarty. Trying to flick it on, pulled on by Pat Howard. Ball breaking inside again. One back there, that's good hurling by Pat Conlon of the Piarsaigh. And that ball is cleared down the field by Diarmuid Madigan. Ball breaking across here, pulled on first time by Maher. Out to Hanrahan. Jonathan coming away with it. Sends it out to Gorey, failing to collect it. Oh, he messed that one up, but the referee I'm sure is going to throw in the ball. But a bit of pushing there between Pat Howard and Brian Hartnett. The ball breaking back into the full forward line. There's a race on here. Dolan Hickey now seems to be operating at full forward. This is David Hennessy busting his way through. Hennessy is heading goalwards, looks up, takes his shot, but it's gone off his hurley out over the in-line, and that's gone wide. The puck out. Dropping down. Ger Hegarty going up for it, using his strength. Oh, a bit of high pulling there. But the referee says play on. This is good spell here from all Christians. Not allowing the Piarsaigh to settle at any stage. Really definitely putting up a fantastic performance. That's good hurling from the cornerback. And that ball breaking across. Definitely causing major problems for the defence. And that's a shot there from the half forward. The half forward is Kieran Keogh and it's over the bar. Good score, 2-7 for all Christians. 6 points for the Piarsaigh. John Fitzgerald with the puck out. Getting good distance into it. The ball half blocked down by Brian Driver. It's breaking across to the far side of the field. Ball into the full forward line. And definitely any ball is breaking inside there. There it is. It's half time here at St. Patrick's Field. The half time score of Christians 2-7. The Piarsaigh 6 points. Second half of this City Senior Hurling Championship Final. And it's the Piarsaigh that break away. A good high ball in from Birmingham.
Come on, lad, come on, don't let him throw. Come on.
The score here at half time, 2-7 for all Christians, 6 points from the Piarsaigh. Enda Kiley putting that one over the bar. And now the score reads 7 points from the Piarsaigh, 2-7 for Christians. Joe Hegarty, captain of the side, pucking this one out. Dropping it on, Colm Gordy going up, winning a vital ball. He's been marked there very tightly by Kieran Birmingham. But it's still Gorey busting his way through. And the ball being fouled as he was coming away with that ball. And that's going to be a free to be taken by Pat Howard. And Howard puts it over the bar. That's a vital score for all Christians from Pat Howard. Definitely playing very, very well here this afternoon. 2-8 for all Christians. 7 points from the Piarsaigh. The ball tapped forward. Pulled on again by Colin Gorey. The ball is a race on here for it. Both sides fighting for it. This is the half-back. The half-back is Phil Madden bursting his way through, sitting it into the full forward line. Anytime that ball goes in there, seems to be causing problems for that full back line from the Piarsaigh. The ball cleared out to the far side. Ball sent into the centre, into Kiley, looks up, strikes just as he gets it and puts it over the bar. That's a good score from Inda Kiley. Now the score 8 points from the Piarsaigh, 2-8 for All Christians. That ball sent over there to the far side, dropping down. And that's a great catch by Hegarty, operating at centre forward. Sending that ball over there into Pat Howard. Howard half blocked down, still trying to get it up into his hand. And the referee is giving a free to the Piarsaigh. Interesting decision by Mike Mann on that occasion. And the free to be taken by Shane O'Neill. That ball won back there by Power. You've interesting two number 4s marking one another. That ball cleared down the field there by Declan Maher for All Christians into Hegarty. Good distribution of the ball that comes across. Dropping it in, but it's dropping out over the in-line and gone wide. Joe Hegarty seems to be throwing that ball around, playing very well. This is David Hennessy making room for himself. That ball being pulled on. First time this is Brian Hartnett, but loses possession. That ball coming across there. Both teams, this is Kieran Birmingham bursting his way through it. Still going through, fouled as he was going through with that ball by Brian Driver, and that's going to be a free in. Inda Kiley, very accurate from frees and putting that one over the bar. Now the score, 9 points from the Piarsaigh, 2-8 for All Christians. Aaron the Piarsaigh starting to come back into this game slowly but surely. Joe Hegarty getting ready to puck this one out. Dropping it over there, Pat Howard going up into it to collect it. Failing to do so. Howard still using his strength and power over there, causing problems for the Piarsaigh, but it's David Hennessy. They seem to be playing a low ball in front of the forward line, but it's not working on this occasion, especially with players like Aidan Maher back to collect and sending it over to the far side. Very a catch by Hegarty. Great determination. That's going to give All Christians a great lift, and that's a fantastic score by Hegarty. John Fitzgerald with the puck out. 2-9 for Christians. 9 points from the Piarsaigh. The ball flicked out across. Both teams trying to work it in. It's pulled on the ground. This is Colin Gorey winning it. First time, and a little bit of pulling there. A little bit of nines there by Brian Hartnett. But he was fouled, and that's going to be a free to Kiley. Inda Kiley seeing this one, and that's an excellent score from Kiley. Joe Hegarty waving it wide, but the umpire puts up the flag. So it's 10 points from the Piarsaigh, 2-9 for All Christians. Joe Hegarty pucking this one out. Dropping it down, Gorey going up, failing to collect it. This is Shane O'Neill. The ball blocked down, pulled down by Donald Hickey, but this is one back there. Ball flicked out, won by, that's a good ball from Kiley. That's a good shot from Kiley, and it's gone over the bar. Joe Hegarty quite annoyed there with his full back line and half back line. 11 points from the Piarsaigh, 2-9 for Christians. The Piarsaigh starting to come back into this game. There's a race on here first. Pulled on first time. Both sides giving everything, and definitely with the championship campaign that both sides have. That's Diarmuid Madigan clearing that. And Donald Hickey going up, failing to collect it. The ball breaking across the opposite side of the field. A race on, pulled on first time, and Phil Madden coming on to collect it, where he's being followed there by Donald Hickey. Hickey staying on, but good pressure from Donald Hickey. And that's going to be a free in for Inda Kiley. And that ball has gone all the ways and gone over the bar. That's a good score. 12 points now for the Piarsaigh, 2-9 for All Christians. Joe Hegarty getting ready to drive this one. Driving it just beyond midfield. Joe Hegarty catching it, reading that ball very well and coming away with it. Actually hear the ground tremble as he pulls away with that ball. That ball left behind by McKeown, but he gets a second chance. He gets a third chance because he's still going with it, and he clears it down the field. The ball half blocked down, but it's read beautifully by the halfback. Jonathan Hanrahan sending it over to the far side, where this is danger here from Na Piarsaigh. And that's a fantastic shot, and that's a fantastic score. 2-10 for All Christians, 12 points from Na Piarsaigh. Brian Driver going back to collect this one, being followed there by David Hennessy. Brian Driver playing well at centre back, sending that one away out the field. Putting Christians back onto the attack. That ball being pulled on the ground. It's won by Cathal Meehan, sending it in. This is the cornerback, playing very well and clearing it away down the field into the full forward line. Ball go upwards, and it's breaking behind. Danger here. This is the corner forward going through, still with it. It's got across, and it's in the back of the net. We see it here again, across the 21, in and crash into the back of the net. That's from Morris' body there, coming in and crashing that into the back of the net. And now Christians are on a roll. 3-10 for All Christians. 12 points from Na Piarsaigh. This free from Shane O'Neill. Is this going to be dropped in? It's dropping it in. You can see Sinan O'Driscoll. He's looking there. Is he thinking about the title coin to Christians? There's a lot of time left yet, and away come Christians. They're playing very, very well. But the referee is giving a free for a late tap there. Brian Driver to take it. Good ball that's dropping into the full forward line. Danger here. Both sides pulling on it. And Tom Alley has broken a hurley as this ball comes away out here to this side of the field. It's won back by David Hennessy. Hennessy sends it in. Half blocked down. That ball dropping back there again, but there's a bit of pushing and shoving as that ball was dropping. And that's going to be a free to All Christians. Brian Driver to take it. What a fantastic catch there by Ger Hegarty, winning that ball, and Pat Howard gets a chance to put it over the bar. And he does exactly that. Pat Howard doesn't miss from those positions. 3-11 for All Christians, 12 points from Na Piarsaigh. That ball being batted down, and away come Na Piarsaigh, the ball breaking inside. Kieran Birmingham going first. That ball being flicked in there. I think that's Liam McGrath who's come out as a sub. The ball breaking all. Both sides fighting first. Into Kiley. This is Brian Driver coming away with it. And that ball, the youthful Brian Driver. The one thing about this All Christians team, they're very, very young players on the side. And the future looks good for hurling it in All Christians as the ball sent in along the ground, and that's going to be a free in. Kiley getting ready to take this one. Is he going to hit it? Going hard? It's gone into the back of the net. We see it here again. Bending, lifting, and crash into the back of the net. 3-11 for All Christians, 1-12 for Na Piarsaigh. Joe Hegarty pucking this one out. Dropping it over there to the far side of the field. Oh, that's a great catch by Joe Hegarty. That's an excellent ball into the full forward line. Danger here, but it's cleared out the field by the cornerback, Liam Kiley. But there's a little bit of pulling and the referee going in there. And I think Dara Jones is going to be called by the referee, having a little quiet word with the referee. And I'm sure the name is going into the book. 3-11 for All Christians, 1-12 for Na Piarsaigh, and he gets a yellow card as Shane O'Neill takes this free. Dropping it in. Can All Christians hold out at this stage? The ball breaking down. Na Piarsaigh will be fighting like tigers to get scores on the board. This is Colin Gorey. Did he pick that off the ground? We'll give him the benefit of the doubt on this occasion. That ball breaking inside. This is McCarn and Cormac. But he puts it to the right, to the left hand side, and he puts it wide. Joe Hegarty pucking this one out. Dropping it. Colin Gorey going up front. That's a great catch. And that's a great bit of hurling by the centre field. That ball dropping inside. Danger here. Can they get another score out of this one? The ball breaking back. The score of that goal in the second half, sending this ball across, and it's gone across the face of the goals and gone wide. You can see Nicholas O'Gorman behind the goals there with the City Senior Hurling Championship Cup. Is it going to be Cardavan or are going to Christians going to win this one? But it's won by John Cormac. Is time running out from the Piarsaigh? That's won by the full forward. Sending the ball inside, and Hegarty reads it beautifully inside in the goals. And as cool as can be, clears it. Where it's dropping, Cullen going for, this is Birmingham, and there's a little bit of pushing and shoving, but the referee says play on. The ball flicked out. This is David Hennessy. Danger here. Is he going to solo in with it? He sends it inside where it's pulled on across the face of the goals. That ball won back there and flicked out, and away they come again. Christians playing very well in that back line. Donal Hickey now back in the half back line again. Flicked on, and oh, that's beautiful hurling, and well, too many steps, and that's going to be a free to the Piarsaigh. Shane O'Neill, plenty of excitement here at St. Patrick's Field. That ball dropping in, pulled on, but it's caught inside and cleared out. That's great hurling by that back line, and Gorey clears it way down the field for Old Christian. The ball half blocked down. It's ran across here, it's flicked out, and Gareth McKeown fouled. And that's going to be a free to the Piarsaigh. Shane O'Neill, a busy man with these frees in the second half, sending this one into the full forward line, and it's dropping inside, but it's cleared the way out the field. Flicked out. This is Kieran Birmingham, but he's blocked down. Great determination play here by Christians, and that ball is gone, but it's gone to the right hand side and it's gone wide. 3-11 for Old Christians, 1-12 from the Piarsaigh. Colin Gorey, oh, great hurling from the centre field, and a bit of high pulling there, and oh, a little bit of tempers flaring here. Kieran Birmingham going down there, a little bit of tempers flaring here at St. Patrick's Field. And Mike Mann having a little quiet word there with Pat Howard and showing me a yellow card. And all is well here again at St. Patrick's Field as Joe Hegarty pucks it out. The ball is dropping. Oh, that's the free down there. A bit of high pulling there by Kieran Birmingham. And the referee will take the number 8 of the Piarsaigh, put him into the book. A little tap there from Joe Hegarty, keeping things a little bit cool here at St. Patrick's Field. 3-11 for Old Christians. 1-12 for the Piarsaigh. Pat Howard sending this one and sending it over the bar, and that's a great score from Howard, putting it over the bar. This is Ger Hegarty busting his way through into Pat Howard. Howard switching it, but there's no one there to collect it. The man that collected is Diarmuid Madigan, half blocked down. Madigan still coming away with it. Hand passes the ball out. 3-12 to 1-12. Time running out from the Piarsaigh. The ball breaking back. Clicked on there by, this is Kieran Birmingham, soloing through with it. Still Birmingham. Brian Driver going back to block that one down. John Cormack trying to come along to collect it. This is Phil Madden, half blocked down by David Hennessy. The ball breaking back, Colm Gorey going to collect it. Wins it beautifully. This is good hurling, but loses it at the second attempt. And a bit of pushing there on Diarmuid Madigan. And the free into the Piarsaigh is dropping inside. This is danger here. Ger Hegarty seems to be going back into that back line to steady things down in there. The ball pulled on first time by Brian Hartnett. Both teams fighting like tigers in there to get that ball. Ger Hegarty going in. And the referee is going to bring that ball out, and I'm sure he's going to throw it in. There's still a bit of stalemate there. There's a little bit of a scrum over there at the far side of the field. And the referee is giving a free out to All Christians. Ger Hegarty to take it. There are 3-12 to 1-12. The scoreboard reads here. Pat Howard. A bit of high pulling there from Donal Hickey on Pat Howard. Definitely one man that's well able to stand up to it, and that's Pat Howard, as John Power cuts this one off the ground. Dropping it in, pulled on first time, and away come the Piarsaigh. This is Brian Hartnett coming out of defence and clearing it away down the field. The ball breaking, Liam McGrath flicks it on. The ball breaking inside, pushed, and that's going to be a free out, but the referee says play on. That was definitely a free to Christians as the ball is sent across, dropping it in. Brian Driver racing across the collectors, coming out along the in-line with it. Definitely this is half-stopping stuff here at St. Patrick's Field. Brian Driver clearing it away out the field. Time is up here, as you can hear from the All Christians bench, as the ball has gone very near the sideline over there at the far side of the field. Can the Piarsaigh get a score? That ball sent in, going across, and it's going out over the in-line and gone wide. There it is, it's all over here at St. Patrick's Field. The Old Christians are the City Senior Hurling Champions for 1999 on the scoreline of 3-12 to Na Piarsiagh's 1-12.
On behalf of the City Board, I'd like to thank both teams for a fine sporting game. It's very rare that we've teams like Old Christians and Na Piarsaigh in a City Final. Normally, as we see here on the cup, it's Brown and Patrickswell. But that's going to change, and it has changed today. There'll be a new name on the cup, and that's Old Christians. Today's game, Old Christians were that bit sharper, but Na Piarsaigh have nothing to worry about because we've seen them all during the year. No doubt, I've even said it there during the year, Na Piarsaigh will be there. You have very little time to wait. I thought that you might have done it today, seeing that you've done so well all the year. Now, I'd like to thank all the people down through the years who have kept the hurling going in Old Christians for the last, since 1961. It's a long time to wait, but I think it's worth it. People like Gay Jones, Michael Keogh, maybe I think since he started building the walls and everything up there, it's kind of changed things or something. But Na Piarsaigh, next year, God's help, you'll be there. All Christians, tonight we'll celebrate. Now, I'd like to present the Dean Punch Cup to Joe Higgett, the captain.
Lads, it's a great honour for me to take this on behalf of the Old Christians team. Lads, it means an awful lot to us. We've been waiting a long while for it. We worked very, very hard this year, and lads, we beat a great Piarsaigh today, and let's have no doubt about that. A few people I want to thank Ger, Senator Driscoll, Tony Burns, Gay Jones, all the lads there for training us during the year. Eugene Keogh, sorry Eugene. Anybody I forget that there's no intentions meant. I want to thank the Piarsaigh for a very, very tough and hard match, lads. Hopefully your year will come. Hopefully not against us if we're playing you, but if you're playing against anybody else, hopefully. Lads, to all, this means an awful lot to us. That's our first senior championship we ever won. There's a lot of old people, well not old people, but they are old. Well, they are old. It means there's a lot of players, probably better players than me, lads, that play Old Christians. I have never held this, and it's a proud moment for me. Thank you very much.
Now, there's one more thing we have to do before we go. Man of the match today is sponsored by JJ Kennelly, and the man of the match today is Colin Gorey.
I think there should be another 14 of these, lads, because they all deserve one, lads.
Well, it's all over here at St. Patrick's Field. It's a win for Old Christians on the scoreline of 3-12 to 1-12. History being made here at St. Patrick's Field this afternoon. A great win for Old Christians, and definitely an Old Christians man, even though he's chairman of the City Board. Nicholas O'Gorman, fantastic game. You must be pleased with the outcome of this game this afternoon.
Yeah, it was a great game, John. Old Christians, they've been very good all the year. Unlucky to go down to Murubor in the semi-final of the intermediate, and I've no doubt the next year will tell a few tales, I think.
I'm going to go on here to Ger Hegarty. Ger, for you and of course for Pat Howard here alongside you, fantastic honour to win a senior championship.
Oh, I'm delighted, John. As I said to you a minute ago, this is everything to us, you know. I mean, for the likes of Piarsaigh and Clahans that have been winning it for the last number of years, we have never won it in our 35 odd year history. We've never won this cup, so I mean that says enough, doesn't it? It's the biggest cup we've won in many years outside the Intermediate Championship in 91-92, so we're absolutely thrilled.
But great credit due to all Christians, because there's fantastic work being done within the club. You know, you've been quite behind the scenes, but working away all the ways right up, involved with Ballinacurra underage, working the whole ways up, and there's a great club structure. And only your field up there, and of course the condition of your field for any game this year has been absolutely immaculate.
Yeah, there's been an awful lot happening both on the field and off the field, in particular off the field over the last 12 months. We've developed the park totally, it's totally revamped and changed above the known. It's come in line most other GA venues, or other GA top venues we'll say. But there's a great spirit in the club, and I've been training the side all year, and they've been a marvellous bunch of players to train. We've great team spirit and we've great commitment to the game. And you know, okay, we've been down for the last couple of years, but we're slowly beginning to come again. Signs on that the majority of our side today would have been mostly under 21.
Pat Howard, I'm going to call him Pat here from on. Pat, winning today, a great honour for you. I know I don't have to, words don't even talk about describe it. But Pat, operating a half forward, were you surprised to be operating a half forward this afternoon?
I was, but all year I've been playing half forward. I've been, like Jared's been playing centre forward, and I've been dropping off of him and just waiting for the loose ball. And lucky today I got a few old breaks today and we won the game. It was great. You
got off to a great start, Pat, from the word go. The 2 goals really took the sting, what I call the sting, out in the Piarsaigh, and they started causing problems from, especially in the back line, because any ball that was breaking in behind their half back line was being mopped up straight away by a very fast full forward line.
Well, we said before the game, if we got off to a start, if we got a good start, we could win the game. It was vital we got a good start, and lucky enough we got the goal, and that kind of settled us there and then. So it's a great day for the club now, great.
I know we're coming to the end of the year, but definitely it's a great start for the year 2000 for all Christians, because it's a foundation now that you can go on from here. You know now that I know you were beaten in the semi-final by eventually county champions Maru Boher, but this is a great foundation really for next year.
Oh, it is with a fabulous year this year. We were lucky to lose to Maru, and Maru went on and won the county, but we've a great crop of young fellas coming up. And if they stay together, we'll be seeing another couple of years, hopefully, you know.
I'm just going to go back here to Ger Hegarty. Ger, we'll say next year, going out, you're intermediate now next year, you're going into an intermediate championship next year as City Senior Hurling champions. As I said to Pat there, this is going to be a great foundation stone for next year, and I presume you'll be getting back into training directly after Christmas.
We definitely won't be going back into training after Christmas anyway, John. No, I don't believe in this very early, as the lads well know, I don't believe in too early training in the new year, we'll say, but I would be encouraging fellas to do a lot of work on their own rather than collectively.